Hello everyone and welcome back to The Real, The Raw, The Truth. I'm your host, Ryan Healy, and today I'll be joined by the MD himself, Mr. Mike Waden. Before we get underway, guys, just a massive thank you to our sponsors, RedRoseRecovery. Mike, would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah, I think you've done a good job already. Mike Waden, Managing Director. So I've been Managing Director at RedRoseRecovery for almost 4 years now.
4 years?
Nearly 4 years, yeah.
I didn't realise you'd been here that long.
Yeah, 2020 started COVID.
Right, okay. Is there a specific reason why you chose this field of work?
I've been involved within the health and social care sector all my career really. So prior to this, I've always worked in the voluntary sector within charities. Did a lot of work with peer support, similar to what we do at Red Rose, around supporting male mental health, predominantly within a sports setting, with some real success. My background as well comes from a business development and fundraising side as well, so I did quite a few years in project planning, bid writing, all that kind of thing, business development, which led me to I was CEO at a charity over in Wigan called Wigan Warriors Community Foundation.
Oh, yeah, very good.
So, as I say, there's a lot within rugby league. Is male mental health and addiction is quite prevalent, as you imagine, across the M62 corridor. So we already did quite a lot of work in these fields. And it was one of the commissioners at the time that we were working with around some of the work that mentioned that there was an opportunity over at RedRoseRecovery, and I decided to put an application in, and the rest is history.
Yeah, brilliant. I mean, this realistically is me having a chat with you and getting to know Mike, but it sounds very similar to what you've done in the past, and I don't want the conversation to lose topic and go into men's mental health, but it is, I was at an event recently in Preston, the Man Cave, and the reason why they put it on was because men under 40, the highest killer in men is suicide, and we try to raise a lot of awareness. I mean, someone with a lot of experience in that field, what is it? Why do you think men are struggling so much with that poor mental health?
Yeah, when you say the poor mental health, a lot of it is substance use is used as a consequence of that to try and deal with it as well, which is obviously what Red Rose specialise in. I think obviously with the cost of living, COVID, I think the pressure on males these days to provide and the pride that us males have has had a huge impact, and with the cost of living increasing and the pressures increasing as a result, it's just becoming a bit too much for some people, and I guess the support isn't out there, or we'd like to think the support is out there from what we provide and what other partner organisations provide, but not everyone's aware of it, or not everyone's, sometimes it's too late when they decide to access it, or they don't access it at all, unfortunately. So another big part of what we do is making sure that we're raising that awareness and making sure people know where the different services are and how to access them.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you touched on an interesting point there with regards to poor mental health leading into substance misuse. I know personally, we work from a lived experience perspective, and mine was, I would sort of alcohol was my poison. I'd go and drink when I couldn't cope with life or on life's terms. Unfortunately, when I go to the doctors, they would say, well, your medication's not going to work and we can't really help you at the minute because you are drinking too much. And I do think it's great that Red Rose have got a dual diagnosis team, because it is an almost element of, what came first, the chicken or the egg? Is it poor mental health, is it substance misuse? But me personally, I find that the two are very much intertwined.
Very much come hand in hand, don't they? People deal with the mental health, unfortunately, on a lot of occasions with alcohol and substance misuse to get away from it all. It's the same with people that live on the streets, that are homeless. Abuse, trauma, unfortunately that substance abuse is common across all areas. We was having a discussion around dual diagnosis this morning in one of the meetings with Lancashire County Council, and you're right, we've implemented these dual diagnosis roles in the last 12 months, and the referral numbers are staggeringly high. And yet still, despite us knocking on the door and our partners such as CGL, Lancashire County Council, banging the drum to break down the barriers between treatment services and mental health, there still is that barrier there that people are facing. So what our guys kind of do is bridge that gap and handhold and make sure if people are getting rejected from services that they're going back and saying, no, this person needs your support, and making sure our beneficiaries get the support they need. So hopefully slowly we're breaking down them barriers. There are a number of meetings and committees and groups now that are popping up with both mental health services and addiction services on board, such as Changing Futures services. So we're working our way through it, but it's always been an issue, and it's not gone. And I think it'll be a while till it completely goes, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, it's a work in progress, isn't it? But you can say, you mentioned NCGL, there's Inspire, there's so many organisations cropping up at the minute. I know there's certain parts of the UK that have gone into recovery ready communities, where they're all interlinked. I do feel that our Lancashire User Forum, the LOVE, is predominantly sort of heading in that direction, where we get lots of different services and organisations in. I'd like to see that. I'd like to see that happen in Preston. I mean, with you linked in all these services, do you think that could be a possibility in Preston?
There is talk of it, yeah. So there's talk at Preston Council, Lancashire County Council, potentially exploring some kind of hub in Preston. So for those of you that were in Blackpool, they've got a really strong model that works, where they've got a hub there where all your different health and social services come together and work within one building. Similar to what they envisaged with Changing Futures originally. We've got the MDT meetings, the multidisciplinary team meetings, where everyone comes together and meets on a regular basis, but we've still not got that relationship where we're working alongside one another. I mean, there's different organisations that work with other organisations, but not all together, if you will. So I think there are discussions at the moment to have a hub similar in Preston and LCC, which I think will be really good and help strengthen those relationships.
Yeah, I'm glad you said that, and that's coming from Mike himself. Let's try and make this happen, everybody. I mean, there's never a day-to-day that's the same in Red Rose. I really enjoy my job. I find it extremely rewarding, in particular when I have my own beneficiaries that I've come in straight. We've had volunteers in it that have been sleeping rough, that have come through the doors, and we've managed to get them accommodation, got them involved in groups, and 6 months down the line, they've maintained their sobriety in Red College. I find that really rewarding. I'm very much on the front line in here. I mean, what sort of aspects of your role do you personally find rewarding?
Exactly what you said. So yeah, I'm not on the front line as such, although we are, the management team are we have committed to getting out a lot more. So with the way we've grown so much over the last 3 years, we've almost admittedly lost touch with our people, our staff, in a sense that where we used to know everyone's names. Unfortunately, we've got close to 130 staff now, and there's new people coming on board every month. It's a challenge I'm terrible with names as it is already, so trying to maintain 130 is not my strong point, but we are committed to getting out to our guys and seeing the good work that they're doing and the challenges that they're facing and how we can support and impact in those areas. But it's exactly the same as yourself, so even though I'm not frontline facing, I do see the case studies that come through. I see the stories on the website. I attend the LUFs and the Roots communities and the connected spaces over in North Yorkshire, where people stand up and tell the stories. And I think it's important that our staff do attend those events, because it really does, as you say, it reminds you of why you're doing the job that you do.
Yeah, I mean, me personally, like I say, I'm on the front line downstairs, but I don't find that barrier with staff. I think yourself and PTR would. From my own personal experience, whenever I've gone to staff with some ideas or something I'm interested in, always more than helpful. Like Pete, I said to Pete I was interested in the criminal justice side of things. Within a matter of weeks, he had me going into Hindley Prison doing the talk. And yourself, I know you're a busy man, and we pulled you upstairs to do a podcast. And you're more than willing to get involved if it's going to help people. So yeah, I mean, I can't imagine how difficult it is on your side with all that staff. I think over the last 5 years, Red Rose has just snowballed, hasn't it, with staff, and volunteers and beneficiaries. But I tend to know all the stuff in it. I mean, downstairs at the minute, for example, I do enjoy it. There's so much on a day-to-day basis, but it is never the same.
No.
And obviously, we do have our challenges. I know personally, again, downstairs, we do have some challenges sometimes. Unfortunately, you witnessed one of them recently. We got involved in myself. On the other side of it, though, like management side of things, SMT, what sort of challenges would you face?
Again, it's different from day to day, really. So for obviously we're overseeing, my role specifically is ensuring that we're staying true to our values as an organisation, making sure that we're continuing to grow, but at the same time just being sustainable in what we do. So I guess my main pressure is making sure that as a charity that we're looking after our people, our staff, as best we can. It is hard sometimes being a charity, because we're often dictated by our commissioners and partners in terms of what we can pay our staff and how much we can grow at any one time. But we have fantastic partners and commissioners. I need to obviously add that bit in. We're very supportive. So my main role is really ensuring that sustainability of the organisation, looking for opportunities for growth and how we can continue to improve the culture of the organisation, look after our staff, really.
Yeah, brilliant. Where do you envision Red Rose going? Maybe a year, 2 years, or further down the line?
To be honest, the mindset when I first came in 3 years ago, we set up a new strategy. I think Red Rose Recovery, and I think the guys that were here at the time would say we'd become a bit stagnant in terms of its growth and development. We had a core contract which we delivered really well and was really strong, which was the Rio contract. But we delivered that for 5 years, and there was nothing else really that the organisation was doing, despite the huge skill set that we had within the staff. So we looked to diversify, and we did, and that's why we've grown so much in the years that have followed. So obviously we looked at substance misuse as a consequence of the trauma that had happened in people's lives, and we knew that our staff who had a lived experience of substance misuse also most likely had a lived experience of other areas, so mental health, domestic abuse, homelessness, those kind of areas. So that's how we diversified, and we built them relationships with commissioners. We showed that we could deliver a quality service, which gave strong outputs for our beneficiaries, and it's grown off the back of that. I think we've come to a point now, and this is the message that I've been saying for a few months now, is where again it's getting back to that knowing your organisation, knowing your people, and supporting your people rather than losing track of that, and just being focused on growing as an organisation. I think we're in a really strong place as a charity. We don't want to rush too much into new contracts and new services that might push us over the edge in terms of coping. So for me, it's about stabilisation now. These next 12 months, ensuring we're doing everything right, safe and quality delivery. We have got one aim as an organisation, a strategic target of becoming a real living wage employer by 2025. So as I've touched on, within the charity sector, voluntary sector, money and finance is sometimes not an issue as such, but a factor of what you can draw down in terms of what you can pay staff. Obviously, the cost of living and everything else at the moment, we know we need to look after our people better than we currently are doing. In terms of quite a lot of our people are on national living wage. There's a lot of people that are on permitted earnings, naturally coming through the system, that can't be on more than national living wage in some circumstances. But we're committed by 2025 to move away from that and get to a wage for everyone, at least, where they can live off and have a good life. So yeah, we're committed to become a real living wage employer. Yeah,
thank you, Mike. I mean, you explained that brilliantly. I think there is a massive reason why you are in management. You did mention in that description the Rio contract.
Yeah.
As the managing director of Red Rose Recovery, would you say that the Rio contract is the backbone, fundamental part of Red Rose Recovery?
100%.
I work on the Rio contracts.
Yeah.
Mike, it's been an absolute pleasure. Is there anything you'd like to say to the viewers? Maybe for future beneficiaries, volunteers, staff, why they should get involved at Red Rose?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, for those of you that don't know, our pathway for employees has been through the Rio contract, in a sense, which is why it is probably our most important service, and it's the backbone to everything that we do. We pick up people when they really need our support. Sometimes that can be a bit later than we'd like, but we're always there, whatever stage of the journey they're on. And what I would say is reach out at whatever point in your recovery journey and get that support. We provide training, we help people, we upskill people to become volunteers or just receiving the support they need, whether that's around employment, housing, the family situation. And we get you into a position where you can live your life, an enjoyable life again. But from our perspective, our staffing pathway comes from that route. So I'd say 80% of our staff come through that pathway in terms of they've been at rock bottom, we've provided the support to help them develop, and they've come into employment roles with us at Red Rose Recovery. And with the growth over the last couple of years, we've had to go a bit more external than we probably like. We want to get back to that internal route of bringing people through and giving people opportunities that they deserve. So if you do want to help, or if you need help or you want to help, get in touch with Red Rose Recovery. All the details are on the website. Speak to one of our guys and come down and see how we can help you.
There you go, you heard it there first. Mike is explaining what we do here. He's probably being more polite than explaining. That is my own backstory. I came here as a volunteer. Again, we work from experience, substance misuse, poor mental health was my background. My life took off in so many different ways. And, you know, I'm not just saying it because I'm joined by Mike or whether I can honestly say without Red Rose, I would be in a ditch somewhere, locked up somewhere, and I'm not. Things are all right today, and I think it's really important that, as well as having our, you know, beneficiaries, volunteers, and staff, that senior management come down and join us as well. Might just say it there, guys. If you are struggling, or if you have a friend or a family member who's struggling, please, you know, click on the link below. Go on Red Rose's website, get a referral sent in because we'd love to meet him, and you know, you can be part of the team and a part of our success story. So thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget, click on the link below. And hopefully I'll meet you all in person very soon. Take care and stay safe.